Yes, geezers, Speci here, old spear tip asleep. We're playing him in Myamon's vampire deck. He got to almost 2,700 with it. He won the season playing vampires, and old spear tip's now a card. So we've tweaked it to fit old spear tip in. After 3 turns, summon old spear tip from your deck to this row and increase its base power by 6. Then banish self. That means we're going to have an 18-point old spear tip. Are you mad? So you might be thinking we're playing Ozeril. No, we're actually just playing Witch's Sabbath in this one. So definitely going to experiment with Ozeril as well, because that turns Ozeril into a 19 for 8, which is nuts. However, there's like one condition. If Old Spear Tip Asleep takes damage, summon Old Spear Tip from your deck, then banish self instead. So if you deal damage that doesn't, you have to get through the armor as well. So if you put him to 5 health, for example, he is then going to just summon Old Spear Tip and banish himself. But Old Spear Tip will just be at 12. So you would lose 6 points of carry over, basically. And obviously of tempo too. So pretty interesting card. I do think it's like borderline auto include. One really interesting thing is like Old Spear Tip is kind of a brick now in this deck in a weird way. You really want to find the Old Spear Tip asleep early to thin the big Old Spear Tip, right? And yeah, Ozeril, Witch's Sabbath, the ways we can make use of this. Again, this deck is very much based off Myamon's deck that he got to 2,700 almost with last season, winning the season. He came number 1 on the ladder, and the concept of the deck is very similar to ones that I've posted myself before. It's using Operator with Incubus. In fact, I did play against Myamon using vampires. I think it's even in one of the videos I posted. Maybe that inspired him to create his own one, and he made it better than I did. He did really, really well with it. We've even got the double Undying Thirst for the synergy it has with Fledders. A single Megascope for another Fledder. Only room for 1 Incubus. This is what Myamon was doing as well. He was only playing 1. But he was using Curse Scroll as a way of getting this Operator, Incubus, Fledder combo more consistently. The idea being, if you have your Operator, cool, you might not have a Fledder in hand, so the Curse Scroll can put the Fledder in hand. If you have your Fledder, you might not have your Operator, and this can give you it. Now, a key difference between this and Myamon's deck is Myamon, instead of using a Neuromancy, which I was using in the deck I posted previously, he downgraded that by 5 provisions to a Alza's Double Cross. This is a really good way of saving provisions to fit more cards into the deck. I did feel like the deck needed some consistency still, but in round 1, his Alza's Double Cross was actually hitting She Who Knows. That's right, She Who Knows he was playing. And then in round 3, it would hit his Regis, because obviously Regis gets really tall. However, the problem is, ADC is just not an option with this new Old Spear Tip card, and then the card is just so great with the Sabbath, which is already in the deck, that it's just not really an option to play ADC anymore. So we've gone back to a Nero. Again, another card that you want to tutor out. I think the Curse Scroll is good here too. The Nero is good. The Royal Decree is good. And again, yeah, we're looking to Sabbath, Old Spear Tip at 18 points, Cave Troll, as well as the Unseen Elder. This is a non-devotion Unseen Elder. Might be wondering, why would you do that? Well, nice option off of our Sabbath, as I say. Nice option behind the Defender still. And also, it's going to be giving our Fledders lots of value. No Alps, like not loads of 5 cards, really well polarized. In it for some weird choices, we've got a Drowner. I've put a Bruxer in. My mom was playing a Natural Selection, but he was also using a Whisper's Tribute to tutor his Sabbath. Again, I've got a Neuromancy instead of ADC, so I don't want to run this tutor as well. I've gone for Toe Prince in here. Oriana's like the big other consideration that you could play. My mom was running an Oriana, but I just don't really have the provisions for her, and I don't want to downgrade a Necrat. But you could ditch the Toe Prince and a Necrat for an Oriana, but Toe Prince is a cracked card, so don't feel too bad. He was also running double Drowner, 1 Megascope, and a Spores. So yeah, wasn't running Bruxer, but I think Bruxer's fine, and he was running a Natural Selection, which was like a backup, one of the backup organic cards for his Whispers. So definitely could play a damage removal card in this one. Again, I'm doing this all live in one take. If you haven't seen my other deck I posted today, which was my Invigorate deck, I did something similar. I won't spoil the results. But we're doing this on patch day in one take. We're going to play 3 games on the Pro Ladder to see how we get on. The people on Pro Ladder at the start of the season all finished top 500 at the end of last season. So we should be playing against some pretty good players and probably some sweaty decks. First game, though, is up against the new Invigorate. This is a deck that I've played myself. Whether it's the version I play, which I do think I optimized pretty well. It's not, because they're playing Tactical Advantage. Mate, you never play Tactical Advantage in this deck, guys. Always play the Enchanted Armor. It's popping off. So, hand state, we've got the Operator Fledder. We have Regis, which looks like a nice mulligan. We could also consider mulligan in Incubus, because it's also not doing too well. There is the brick of the Old Spear Tip, though, right? So maybe we just keep Incubus in hand. Nah, let's risk it. Okay, cool. Never, ever a problem. So they go TA for Dunker, which this is like one reason that you could justify playing flipping TA, but Enchanted Armor is just so much better in this deck. So I think we just start off with our old Spear Tip and send them an emote as well. Yeah, boy. What a Chungus, mate. What a geezer card. So they can damage us by 3 with Dunker. What that would do is rather than it setting our old Spear Tip to 18, it will just come out at 12. But that's still insane value for the provisions we're paying. So the way you do the maths on this card is this card is worth 6 provisions, old Spear Tip. The other one is worth 11 provisions. So it's 18 points and for a total of 17 provisions. However, because you're playing 2 cards at once, you're thinning a card from the deck. You really take away 4 because it's a very long story. But really, it's more comparable to say this is a... Well, in this case, this was a 16-point play for 13 provisions, roughly. And 1 thinning. Pretty sick. Very sick indeed. Also sets up our Sabbath for some carryover. The next thing we do is a little bit of a dilemma. We could just play a Fleder. I guess we could Operator Fleder and then use Leader. Maybe that was our opening play, honestly. Could have just opened with that, right? I think using a Leader charge is fine. I was thinking they've got a Veil. I'm kind of screwed. Because also, like, the quicker we get the bleeding going, the more points we get on our Regis. So it's always nice to just get that Veil ticking along. Against Handbuff, we definitely want to win round 1 on even. We've already made a great start with the odd Spear Tip. Yeah, not this again, lol. Yeah, we did a whole talk about this yesterday when we looked at the patch notes on how to evaluate the card. But just the way of evaluating this is you don't say it's a 17 provision play. Like that's misleading. You don't say that Arch Sport is an 8 for 8, right? That's not how the card works. It's an 8 for 4. In a similar sense, this is not a... I mean, this played for 4 points to 16 because they had to sink 4 damage into it. This wasn't a 16 for 17. This was more like a 16 for 13. Yes, you just take away 4 from the provisions because 4 provision cards are the cheapest you can possibly ever run. So I actually got rid of this. It's kind of insane. Does mean that our Incubus is almost ready to go once we kill this. I guess we could play another one. It's kind of a commitment though. They probably don't have another bomb, but they might have another rebuke, so... Better choice over if we hit the Fleder or if we hit the Dunker. I guess maybe hitting the Dunker made more sense, because the bleeding could be extra value on our Regis. And Drowner does disable Smuggler, so it would have been a nice card to keep. But I've also got Toad Prince, which I'm hoping does the job. I wasn't really sure what to play. I could have maybe just played like a flippin' Fortune Teller. I think the reason that Fortune Teller's there is because it's you can banish Magic with it, and also you can protect your defender against poison. Like if they poison your defender against Syndicate, then you can play this and you're kind of cushiony, right? Kind of overcommitting a bit here, but we can Sabbath this back anyway. So the beautiful thing about Sabbath now in this deck as well is like with an 18-point Spear Tip, just Sabbathing monsters. It's the same with the Kelly Cobalt deck. Being able to condense like all those points into your Sabbath play is going to be nice in a short round, but then also you've got Sabbath is good in a long round because you're playing an Unseen Elder in this deck with a defender. So far we tried out Invigorate. I guess this was an overcommit for myself, really. But you live and learn in it. Could have just maybe played Fortune Teller, tried to stall. Even like a rubbish Megascope. I think we're in a very strong position. We can just go to a long round if we want it. We could also just try and bleed the hand buff. We have our first De Niro still. Find the Sabbath. Right now it's hitting 3 really good cards, and for them, not so much, right? Dunker's not bad, but we could just honestly open with the Sabbath, right? The Drowner's decent. I guess the Megascope can go. It's kind of decent, but it's not amazing. I think we slam the Sabbath, guys, honestly. So Unseen Elder could give bleeding to Dunker, which means this wouldn't grow, which means it could die to Rebuke. So let's not do that, right? That sounds bad. The dunk is a bit of a problem for us. We're just going to toe prince it. They could also use the... They can't use the dunker order. But as we're an engine deck, it's just good to get, like, the engines down as soon as possible, right? Bleed the hand buff out from them. Like, if we bleed them to 0, they lose all their hand buff. So maybe one problem if we could have Mulligan Regis, then we'd have a Nero for Regis in round 3. Oh, let's see if they manage to kill our Fled or our Unseen Elder. That would be disastrous. That's a Watcher at the Valley, which means they've probably got one in hand if they take that. Not definitely. So far, it does just look like the same list I played. Played it on stream, so... Pretty weak. The question is, if we play Defender, the answer is yes. Not going to use a leader charge here, because I'm never going to hit the Dunker, because I'm good at the game. Okay, I wasn't playing a Purify, in fairness. So we got gamed a little. We could go Nekarat, we could go Toad Prince. I think we've got to get rid of that Dunker, right? If it's just hitting a Torque every time, it's lots of value per turn. Rip Unseen Elder. Fair play for them for actually playing a Purifier. It's pretty big brain. Pretty far ahead though. Still got a bunch of engines to play, and we still got Regis for the short round. We could also go for the Chad Undying Thirst, I guess. Yo, you're on. Thanks for the 9 months, man. I really appreciate it, mate.
Keep it going.
Hey, King Philo with the sub as well. What a lad. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for the subs. 9 months from Euron and 7 months from King Philo. Love to see you. So I'm playing a 4-4, which is fine. Card's okay. I decided to bleed this. I guess I could have just drowned it, but I'm expecting Drowner to still get some movement value on Smugglers. Here comes the leader charges. If we see all 4, this is like even more reason to just like push completely. The Fleder in hand is pretty awkward though. I mean, Fleder's on board are pretty bloody awkward, honestly, with no bleeding actually. So maybe we're just like taking a Nekarat. We could also take an Undying Thirst. It's just like a value play. It's a bit of a sticky one. Do we ever play the other Fleder here and then slam jam the flip in the Undying Thirst? I think it's good content, right? If nothing else, it's good content. We've got to go for it. The 18 tempo Undying Thirst chat. Is it happening? Come on. This is what the people want to see, mate. I'm really surprised at this Purify. I don't think I would have taken this line had I expected this. It's a bit unfortunate we don't get quite the 18 tempo, but it's still decent. We're playing a risky game. Like, again, if I didn't have Regis in hand, I would feel great about this, right? Like, just bleed every card. Or we just win a short round with Regis. But because I get the Regis, that was just an oversight on my part. I also, again, will reiterate, I was not expecting them to have a Purify. I thought we were just winning. Like, we were just winning this round super comfortably if they don't have Purify, right? Or my engine stick.
Sisters, follow me.
But we could trade Regis for their last card, probably. Unless this card here gets ahead of us. So we know it's going to be a juiced up Torque or so. Like, our Regis is great, but chances are their card is better. We know one of them's Torque. So if they slam the Torque, we get good insight that the other card's good. So... okay. Really risky. They're hoping they can preserve it, but we just trade here. Again, if I just had like any kind of bleed card, we would have been fine. Like imagine an Undying Thirst trades for Torque here. Pretty fine, I think. We have a Neuromancy still. We don't exactly have much juice. We have a Neuromancy and Royal Decree and nothing. We have an Incubus. The Operator is set up, let's not forget to. Spores? No thanks. Oh god, chat. Oh lord. No Nekarat. I'm pretty nervous. Pretty nervous, mate. Incubus Undying Thirst to save the day. It's our only chance, man. Yeah, we can adhere into Decree, exactly. Mate, they might actually have the Fled of their own, right? Oh god. Oh lord.
Garments are shackles that restrain our desires.
They might actually have the Watcher of the Valley. We haven't actually seen them play one yet, so kind of assuming that they don't.
Ugh, stop gurgling like that.
Oh! The 7 for 4, guys. Okay, they can't click that one. Does that mean we do it? Does that mean we do it? The Bountiful, no! Not the Bountiful, man. Anything but the Bountiful. We lose, right? By a point. Man, what a high roll off the Harvest. I guess the Harvest wasn't even that good. Pretty sad, mate. Pretty sad. I have to say, again, the fact they included this Purify was the only reason we lost this game. I never play like that if I think they have Purify, so fair play. They won in the deck builder. That's pretty insane, really, that we managed to lose this game. Definitely didn't play it very well. I overcommitted massively round 1. God. But again, I didn't think they played Purify. The whole game just goes very differently if I knew that. Fair play, I guess. I guess they could always high roll it off Harvest. I just played that one horribly, though, let's be honest. So we have Cursed Scrolls, so we can put the Fleder in hand. Yeah, I think so. We just got lucky to draw everything there. Obviously, in that game, it looked terrible, but like a lot of the time, you're not gonna find all your golds. Fortune Teller's looking pretty hot here. We can't open with Operator. Yeah, Maimon finished top of the ladder last season, and this is like my take on his deck with some of the new cards added, like SPEARTIP. Yeah, we played SPEARTIP, we played Unseen Elder round 1 with View of a Sabbath, and then they flip in Purified Defender. It's pretty awkward. That was pretty awful for myself. I gave myself a loose con. We could open with Nekarat, I guess. Put Operator in hand, and we probably just get rid of the Undying Thirst, I suppose. I managed to lose Kuna as well, mate. I managed to lose my first game. I'm having to play a Nero instead of ADC because of old SPEARTIP, right? Can't play ADC with it anymore. I mean, I guess you could, but probably not very well. But yeah, I mean, if you think about Fortune Teller, lots of people playing Mushrooms, it's good against Mushrooms. Lots of people playing Maddock, it's good on Maddock. And lots of people were playing Syndicate Poison, it's good against that too. And Bounty, I guess. I guess not against Bounty so much. I guess we kind of wanted to play these when they're not like on the same cooldown route. So they're alternating. If we don't play a vampire that turn, we can still get Fleditic. How do you replace? You still play King of Beggars for sure, yeah. Definitely. You're just going to downgrade Sewer Raiders to 4s. You're also going to want to play... I was thinking about doing the Big Siren. It's an option, isn't it? It's definitely an option. Big commit here, but I can pull up Sabbath, right? Okay. The Heatwave play was kind of weird from them, right? Like, you see Heatwave, you're like, alright. Don't think this is a massive overcommit in this time. And I can Sabbath this if need be. It could actually just be worth playing Oswald as well in this deck for the Spear Tip. And because your Sabbath is just hitting so many good engines. But yeah, like, we hit some pretty good stuff for them too. Oh no, chat. We bricked the Spear Tip. Oh god. Oh lord. Yeah, they heat waved one of our Fledders. But here you can see why we're playing Anira and Raw the Crew. Like, we hit Anira, imagine we didn't, right? Like, we'd just be still missing Regis. We wouldn't have found Unseen Elder. So we're just trying to bleed here to get the Geddy out of them, really, while not losing card advantage.
Trust equally in heart and mind.
Don't think I'm playing this deck too well, guys. I'm gonna throw it out there. Bit of a stinker, but that's it. Live YouTube videos, you get to see it all. Obviously, we're in Pro Ladder, trying these decks for the first time. And we are just playing against, like in this case, just like a person that's probably played this deck a million times. So you can really get a test to see how good the deck is, despite me misplaying as well. The hand I've just made very awkward. There we go. That's what we want to see. Do they slam the leader? They decide to slam the leader. Which just now means we're going to probably... I don't know. Oh my god, Foggy's unmodded flow. What a moment. So... Wait, is that even enough? Taking for 3 bleeding. 4 bleeding. 7. Bruh. Oh my god, Untwine's called it back. Oh, Dennis. Oh, dear. This is all live, chat. This is all live YouTube, mate. There's no handpicked games here. It's just one flipping go. Just one sesh. Incredible. Elder can't bleed an already bleeding card.
Just great.
It bleeds a card that doesn't have bleeding. Okay, we're up against Jackpot. Yes. Yeah, otherwise the card would suck. At the end of the turn, give bleeding 2 to a random enemy unit without bleeding. Incubus can go. And Regis can go. And this is more of like an example of where the consistency cards come in. Again, Maimon did a really good job of cutting a Neuromancy for ADC. But you just can't do that with the Spear Tip play. And the Spear Tip's just so good. It's just another card you're happy to tutor out as well, right? So it's still playing Sewer Raiders, which is just, it's not Salamander because they were the obvious cuts. I mean, not necessarily, you never know, right? Don't really want to play the Fleder because I have no access to Operator. So I'd want to operate a Fleder in round 2. Yo, Chambles, thanks for following, mate. I appreciate it. So if we want to actually thin the Spear Tip in round 1, we have to do it now. Is the time to do it now? So 1, I'm gonna play another card. It would be now, right? That's pretty nuts. As like a, should we just try it as like an abuse card? Trying to win on even kind of card. I mean, our hand is so bad, but then we could play this, which puts it in our graveyard. It thins, but also we can then just play a bunch of trash, right? Let's try it. So 8 damage, heat waves, locks are the efficient ways of doing this. Gardens, well, I don't think Syndicate's got an abundance of those. Freak Horson doesn't do it. I guess what you could do is you could damage it by 2 and then play Junior. That would achieve the same goal. It's not very efficient.
I'll never be imprisoned again.
Still, pretty good trade, mate. We still have our flipping 11-point juicer, right? It could be worse. I wasn't expecting that, though, I must admit. Let's hope they don't have their own one. Wait, does it banish? Bruh. After 3 turns, summon Old Spear Tip from your deck to this row and increase its base power by 6 then. So because it's not pulling it, I don't know if it will still banish. Because it says then. But it is a new card, so maybe it will, maybe it won't. Let's find out. It's Gwent Mythbusters live. Oh! So they risked it. They flipping risked it, mate. Are you serious? So we can play Fleder for 7 tempo here. Oh wait, Fleder comes down at 5 tempo, which is, puts us at 18. Sorry, at 8. Play Leader for 4. We're at 11, they lose 1. Is Unseen Elder enough? Unseen Elder plays for only 8 points as well. I guess I just have to go to a long round against Syndicate. Is that okay? I mean, maybe. Guys, I did something seriously flipping wrong, man. What am I doing, mate? Oh, Lord. Okay, it's fine. We're still going to win. I made a serious and continuous error in my judgment, guys. I'm a mathematist, guys. It's advanced BM, guys. It's advanced BM. Okay. Bit of a yikes. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty sad about that. Pretty sad. It's a bit embarrassing, man. again, it's one of them ones. I feel like this is never a mistake I would make if I wasn't trying to record a YouTube video and stream at the same time. I'm trying to, like, you know, keep the entertainment rolling. It's just for the content, guys, you know. It's just for the content. I wasn't doing any maths. I just slammed the cards and assumed it would be enough. That's all it was. That's what happened there. I didn't do any maths. I just slammed. Guys, there's no way this is Salamander, right? Am I actually getting Salamandered? This guy should have cut Sewer Raiders, so if they have, I just don't even feel bad. They're just bad at deck building. They net decked me and then didn't even do the one thing they had to do, which was ditch the Sewer Raiders. I'm going to be very sad if this is an actual Salamander gamer that doesn't play Sewer Raiders. That's still playing Sewer Raiders, rather. Hand looks fine. Quite a couple. There's a couple of golds. I mean, Sabbath is a brick, though. But we're not going to fight. No, my point is they should have cut Sewer Raiders. They're also playing Philippa, so it shouldn't be. Yeah, the good news is we're probably losing, right? We missed everything. Can we win still, despite being down a card and having missed everything and my Sabbath playing for about 10 points? 10 is a stretch, actually. Ten is definitely a stretch, right? But we could be okay. We almost want them to kill our defender the first time, right? We almost want them to kill our defender first time so we can res it. There's the soul. Bit of a geezer card, that. Sure. So Sam Jam the leader. This YouTube video should not end until we see the 18-point spear tip. Okay, that's fine. Again, anything they kill is just coming back off Sabbath, right? So even if they kill us again, it just strengthens our really bad Sabbath. So it's kind of like a big brain debate play, right? Okay, the final piece of the debate, guys. Now they kill the Unseen Elder and bang! Sabbath Valley, mate.
To the gentleman with the forehead tattoo at 500.
I guess I should slam the Sabbath now that's gone. In the front row because of Necrorat, right?
I can't wait to hear your wicked flesh sizzle.
And this is where
Long ships are overrated.
the Unseen Elder's just good if we didn't have this Necrorat, right? Ticking along nicely. We're about to see the 18-point Undying Thirst, guys. Despite this, me playing this about as badly as humanly possible, we're still popping off.
Truly extraordinaire.
Oh! So many points, mate. Well, they're bleeding 3. 21 for 6. I've played worse cards, I'd say.
They're quite fresh.
And here's where Unseen Elder just comes to his own. Bleed SPEARTIP now. Oh, because it banishes itself? If we bleed? Holy moly.
Take no prisoners. No.
It only works during the counter. Does it? After 3 turns, summon odd SPEARTIP from your deck to its grow and increase space power by 6. If odd SPEARTIP takes damage, summon odd SPEARTIP from your deck then. I don't think it will, right? It says then. What do they play? Savola.
Fortunate has a funny way of biting you in the ass.
I guess we shouldn't give Veil, actually.
I see only darkness in your future. Only darkness.
I suppose that's fine. Alright, 13 to the good. They were bleeding. Obviously, I misplayed really heavily. This should have been an easy win. That was close. We also just missed everything, right? That's actually close, considering we missed everything and I played so horribly. Should be a pretty easy win. So, we've got time for one more. I think I'm going to call it there, actually, for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the Vampires deck. If you want to see more of it, let me know. I'm not sure this one's, like, super optimized. You can definitely mess around with it. But this is obviously, like, something close to this, I think is pretty good. Sorry that the gameplay wasn't, like, the best standard, but hopefully it was still an enjoyable video anyway, and you got to see what the deck is all about. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Like if you watched this far. The secret word for watching this far in today's video is... tongue. It's tongue. See ya.